Forward. Hut, 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 hut. Pick it up, pick it up.
Good morning, America. For today's lead story, African Americans receive far greater unequal treatment when in the military. They encounter unequal opportunities for promotions inside the military as well as discrimination. These disadvantages are due to the USA segregated rules which are also applied to in the military. Although needing much support for the war, African Americans are only accepted if there are openings in their own racial categories, and even then, only half of the African American population who actually volunteer for military service are even accepted into our military during these difficult times of World War II. Our soldiers have to conduct their jobs separated from white soldiers and everything else separated, and often do not leave their army bases because of hostility experienced from white civilians outside of their army bases. Now is not the time for the nation to be biased on whom we pick for military service. And African Americans are also American citizens who wish to fight in this war to help achieve victory. The military should be running to accept as many troops as it can, however, it is not the case. African Americans are treated as if they are not valuable American citizens and that their services are not so much needed in the war as the white man. But what difference in combat ability does the color of your skin make? The African American community should be included in our battle for peace just as much as the white man.
William Edward Burghardt Du Bois was born in Massachusetts in 1868. Du Bois was an American sociologist, historian, author, editor, and activist who is believed to be the most influential black protest leader in the first half of the 20th century. He led the Niagara Movement in 1905 and later helped the National Association of Colored People in 1935. Du Bois released his book, Black Reconstruction, which exposed many of the white propaganda movements. When the US got involved in the war, Du Bois believed that by having an active combat from black soldiers, it could shift beliefs about African American soldiers at the time. Why make your own garden? Because if you do, you will be doing your part in fighting the battle of American food production. By starting now, you will feed thousands of soldiers by allowing more food to be delivered to war zones. Contribute by sharing vegetables with all. To start your own vegetable garden, contact your nearest gardener or ask a neighbor for some help. Remember, your victory garden will help. Now I will be interviewing WWII Du Bois. What influenced you to keep fighting for American democracy?
Our fellow black soldiers come back from across the sea defending the folk in Europe. But here minorities are lynched, insulted, and belittled, despite their active participation in combat. If we return from fighting, and we return fighting. Make way for democracy. We saved it in France, and by that great Jehovah, we will save it in the United States of America.
You can have your own homegrown organic vegetables in your very own backyard. Start a victory garden today, and you will have vegetables for you and your family all around.
As white Americans are going into war, the African Americans who are being left behind are having access to manufacturing jobs that were previously unavailable to them. They are learning new skills, joining unions, and becoming a part of the industrial workforce. Almost 1 million African Americans have entered the industrial workforce already. African Americans account for about 25% of the workers in foundries and 12% in both the shipbuilding and steel industries.
Originally created by our enemy, but altered for the United States military in the most efficient way possible, the jerry cans proved to be a useful carrier of any liquid. And what else comes in liquid form? Fuel. Jerry cans can be used to carry extra amounts of fuel for vehicles to help carry our troops further than possibly imagined. We create them with plastic so they will last us longer than the German-made cans. The cans feature an efficient cross design in the center in order to be able to expand and hold more fuel. They come in a series of different colors and are priced just right at 50 cents.
This placard shows that the U.S. military does not provide adequate resources to accommodate African Americans in the military places.